How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to give you a bull market guide, a little guide to help you along the way and tell you, what are some realistic returns for this bull market? Like, what could you actually make during this bull market? And I want to be straight with you. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. There's also going to be a link underneath the video to Margex. In case you want to trade cryptocurrency, you can do it over on Margex using leverage. You can trade all different kinds of assets. There's also going to be a link to CoinW underneath the video too. In case you want to just buy these assets that we're going to talk about today, spot, you can just go underneath the video and you can trade on CoinW, or you can buy spot and just withdraw to a cold wallet. Now, obviously, there are a lot of different cryptos that you can buy. This bull run is shaping up to be a crazy one. I realize that the last couple of weeks have been kind of boring, right? We've been trending sideways. This accumulation zone starting to fall down. As you can see, over the last couple of weeks, we've fallen down. But this is completely normal in a bull market when you consider how far we've come. It's normal to have a bit of a pullback. Now, a lot of how much money you make is going to be based on, one, when you bought in. Like, when did you buy in? Did you buy back in here when we're at 28,000 or 39,000? Did you buy back here at 28,000? Are you buying right now? A lot of it will come down to how much you can invest. What are you buying? But I want to give you some expectations for realistic returns during this bull run. And, there are going to be, I guess, some price predictions, although that's not really the point of this video. I'm not trying to sit here and chart out where Bitcoin could go. I've talked about that before, but I want to give you some realistic expectations and some ideas for, like, what are the risks? What do you have to watch out for? And how can you realistically get a better return? So a lot of this will come down to your own ability in crypto. How much time can you have to devote? How much time do you have to devote to crypto? What are your emotions like? But obviously, there are cryptos that are going to 100x. There are going to be cryptos that 500x, 1,000x. Those will be the outliers, obviously. Maybe you'll have 100x. Like, if you invest in 20, 25 cryptos, maybe you'll have 100x. You'll probably buy it when it's already like 2x, though. So maybe you get like a 40, 50x. But it does come back down to, how does the whole market perform? So this is what the market looks like now. Right now, Bitcoin is $1.227 trillion. This is the amount of billions. So $1.2 trillion, basically. It's 54% of the overall market, depending on what chart you look at. But this is what I pulled from CoinMarketCap. ETH is right around $362 billion, which is 16%. The cryptos 3 through 10, which include BNB, Tether, Solana, USDC, XRP, Toncoin, Dogecoin, and Cardano, those account for another 17% of the market. And then the rest of the market, everything else combined, everything 11 through 20,000th in the crypto market is about 284 billion. Kind of crazy when you think about that, right? How many top 20, how many top 50 coins do you know? Probably a lot. Pepe, Aptos, Filecoin, Phantom, Dogwoof Hat, all those, Arbitrum, Caspa, they're all in this rest of market, and they take up about 12.5%. So only 1/8 of the overall market are these small crypto coins. So overall, this makes the entire market of about 2.26 trillion. Now, we did get to about, I think it was 3 trillion towards the peak, but let's say we move into this bull run, and I'll be clear, there are two different camps here. Some people think we're going to have diminished returns. So in the last market, we went from 20K to 70K, so that's a 3.5x. Some people say, okay, that means this cycle we're going to go maybe 3x or 2.5x. So where would that take us? Maybe 130,000 to 300,000. That's one camp, right? Of course, there's also another group of people that think that we're never going to get past where we are now, or that we're only going to get to 100,000 or 150,000. There are a lot of people that are bearish, and then there's that middle group that's maybe 130 to 200. We're going to see diminishing returns, and then we have the people like Plan B that say, hey, no, there's just a huge scarcity of Bitcoin. So yeah, while we're at 70,000 now or 60,000 now, we're going to have amplified returns. So instead of 200,000, some people are expecting 500,000. That's what Plan B is expecting based on the stock to flow model. 500,000. Some people say 300,000. So I'm not going to get caught up in that price here today because it ultimately depends on where you think the market's going. I'm going to be conservative. I like being conservative with my numbers. So we're going to assume that the market cap of Bitcoin goes up 2.5x. Okay. That's it. That's $150,000 Bitcoin, somewhere around there. It's just over a $3 trillion market cap. Now, if I had to guess, if this really was the top, I'd guess that we were more likely to be just short of like 150 or just short of 3 trillion. Then the reason behind that is a lot of the time we come right up to a big resistance and then get rejected. That's kind of the peak of the market. Like everyone's saying 150, we get up to 142 and then we fall down, something like that. That's if we're expecting this diminishing returns cycle. Now, in this scenario, Bitcoin would go up about 2.5x from here. Still very bullish. Keep in mind that's 150% return over the next year and a half. That's better than every other market will perform. I guarantee it. And of course, I can't guarantee anything, but if we get up to a $3 trillion Bitcoin, it probably will perform better than just about anything. In this scenario, we're going to say Ethereum 3x's. So Bitcoin goes up 2.5x, goes up 150%. We're going to say Ethereum goes up 200%. Usually ETH outperforms Bitcoin in bull markets. So we're going to say that I think this number kind of makes sense too. If you're thinking diminished returns, we go right up to 9,000. Everyone's calling for 10,000, then we fall down, right? Maybe we get to 8,800 or something, So we fall just short of that $10,000 goal. So that would put it right over $1 trillion market cap. Maybe like that's the huge event that happens and everyone's calling for 10K and then we don't quite get it. But this is accounting for about 14.6% of the market at this point. And then the cryptos 3 through 10 move up about 300% or 4x. So BNB is looking like at just over $2,000. And it doesn't have to be necessarily one of these coins. It could be USDT going up and it's a $400 billion market cap all of a sudden. But Solana, maybe 550, 600, XRP close to $2, Toncoin $25, somewhere around there, Dogecoin 60 cents, and so on. Again, just round numbers. The rest of the market, we'll say goes up 6x, right? People start investing in the smaller coins. Of course, we've seen that already. We've seen some of the smaller coins grow very quickly, but we're going to say that this really explodes, right? There are gaming coins, AI coins. We have coins all over the place worth 30 billion, 40 billion, and they're not even hitting top 10. They're maybe top 30, top 40. And this continues to grow. This is going to take market share, right? We're just going to assume this. And of course, we could go like, okay, maybe you're going to invest in 5 100x's. That's not very likely though, because there are only so many projects you can put money in. Probably 1 out of every 50 is 100x or more. Maybe 1 out of every 10, if you're really good. 1 out of every 10 or 20 is 100x. And that's like if you're top 0.1% or something like that in crypto. So we're going to assume that the whole market grows to be 7.4 trillion. Everyone's calling for a $10 trillion market, and then we fall into the bear market. That's, again, assuming diminished returns and assuming we don't just go on a massive bull run forever. So what can you realistically make, right? What can you realistically make in this market? Well, if you invested 10K right now and you invest into Bitcoin, the risk would be low. But at the peak, you'd make about 25,000 or you'd have 25,000 in this scenario, right? Bitcoin goes up 150%. It's just numbers, right? So risk is low. You can make 150% gain. Maybe you want to invest in Ethereum. Your 10K goes into 30K. You invest in the big caps, Toncoin, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin. Not in anything particular, but you just kind of spread it around. If they go in 4x, well, then your 10K becomes 40K. And then rest of market, maybe you invest in 10 different 30 through 100 caps or something like that. You turn your 10K into 60K. Okay, these are realistic returns. I've seen some people saying, I'm going to turn $100 into $1 million. And there's some influencers that show that it's very difficult. Most of them are probably playing games in the background, but that is very unlikely. I just want to say that, like, it's possible. Crypto is a place where you can make more money than anywhere else, probably, right? It's the Wild West. You can make 1,000x's, but those are often the outliers. And oftentimes, people will continue to gamble even after they've made a lot of money. Like, let's say you're at the casino and you win 2x and then 4x and then 8x and then 16x, and you keep on doubling down. Eventually, you'll lose at some point, and then you'll lose all of your returns. Some people do that in crypto. They buy some meme coin, they make a 10x, they put it into another meme coin, 50x, they put it into another meme coin, it gets rug pulled. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. Now, like I said, you could be one of the really good investors that invest really early, gets 100x. Again, though, you still have to have a pretty decent amount of your portfolio in it to make it worth it, right? If you invest in 100 different projects and one does 100x, the others get rug pulled, you made nothing. You're just back to square one. Now, what are the major risks? Like, how can you make more money? I think you need to know the major risks behind this. Okay, risk number one, you buy too high. That's probably the thing that most people think about. You come into crypto at the very peak, Bitcoin's at 150, and then you buy, and then we go into a bear market. Or, hey, some crypto everyone's talking about. Let's say you just come here and you're like, what's performed the best? Oh, Render. It's up 40% in the last 7 days. Let me get a drink. Okay, Render's up the most in the last 7 days. Let's see, maybe you just go to the 30-day. Okay, Arweave's up 27%. You just throw in your money into whatever's up. And it sounds crazy, but some people do that. Some people do that with meme coins. Like, they'll see it recently added, or they'll see it trending, and they'll just invest at the wrong time because everyone's looking at it. It's already gone up a lot. So that's risk number one. Another risk, panic selling. Probably risk number two. What does everyone talk about? Buying at the wrong time or panic selling? Bitcoin goes from 75,000. You think it's the best asset in the world. Everyone's buying it. It goes down to 60,000. You panic because you think it's going to go down to 50, or you think you're going to buy back in lower. A lot of people do that too. They think, okay, why would I hold it when I can just buy back in at 50 and I can get like 16, 17% more Bitcoin? That's a mistake too, because you never know when it's going to stay down. And I'm getting to a point here. This will be helpful. Okay, major risk number three, better, faster, cheaper coins come to the market. So you're investing in, I don't know, some new layer one, and it says that's the best coin out there, but it's got no real network. And then something else comes that's better. So you can invest in something like Ethereum and still do well because of the fact that they have a large number of users. So even if it's not the fastest thing out there, there's still a lot of people that use it, that prefer it, right? So if you're going with a faster, cheaper coin or something, maybe you get passed up by something else because there are always new coins coming, right? And this is not an all-inclusive list. Another thing you could do is you just get pulled in by the marketing, right? You get pulled in by the marketing. It's not as great as they say. You don't do enough research. You could even send it to the wrong place, right? You send it to the wrong wallet. That's another risk. Coin stops marketing. Team stops developing. I think this happens with a lot of newer projects, right? You think that it's this great new project. They're marketing like crazy. They're getting new users. And then all of a sudden, just kind of fizzles out. Maybe the coin gets rugged. Maybe they take the treasury, or someone steals, or maybe there's a hack, something like that. Custody risk, whether it's a centralized exchange, right? You put it on the wrong exchange, you try to get too much yield, and then it gets rug pulled, or they go bankrupt, or you self-custody it and you lose it somehow. Maybe you transfer it to the wrong place, or you hold too long. That's another thing, right? You buy all the way up, or you hold throughout the whole market, and then you never take profits. That's another risk. That's something that you have to be careful of. You can't be married to your coins. These coins are not your friends, right? The people that own these are not your friends, right? You're sitting there playing Russian roulette with everyone that's invested in these. And maybe Bitcoin's different. Maybe Bitcoin's different. I'm going to say that, right? Maybe you want to take profits in Bitcoin. Some people do that. But all these other coins, people are in these to make money. They don't care about the community. The whales are not in it for the community or the memes. They're in it to make money off of everyone else. They buy it, it goes up, They sell it, it falls. Maybe they buy back in during the bear market. But get that in your head that if you sell, people might give you crap for a day or two. If you tell people, then no one cares. No one will care, and you will sell at the wrong time, right? You will sell. It will continue moving up. You'll feel like an idiot. Eventually, though, it will fall down. It will fall down, and then you'll feel pretty good. If you can get in and sell at 3/4 of the top price, or even 2/3, right? You're probably going to do pretty well. Even if you don't sell your microcap at the 100x, you sell it at a 60x, it's still much better than everyone else that will buy at the top or buy where you're buying and hold it throughout the bear market. These coins will lose 95% of their value during the next bear market, maybe more. Some will fall 97%, 99%. Some will never come back. So keep that in mind. Now, one thing that I have done, right? One thing that I think can be a major tool, it is risky, riskier than just buying spot, but you can leverage. I know, groans from the audience, but you can leverage using something like Margex or CoinW. And the reason I like this is it takes out a lot of the risks on this list. Okay, so you buy Bitcoin, right? You buy Bitcoin, let's say you do a 4x long. Not anything crazy, but you just put some Bitcoin in a 4x long. Okay, the risk is the same as just buying Bitcoin here. You could buy too high, right? You could buy it at a bad time. Panic selling, you could do that too. Better, faster, cheaper coin comes. That's not going to happen with Bitcoin. Coin stops marketing. It's not going to happen with Bitcoin. Coin gets rugged. Okay, no one's going to really rug pull Bitcoin. Custody risk, okay, you're putting it on a centralized exchange, right? I'll give you that. There's more risk with that than putting it in self-custody. Holding too long, same risk as Bitcoin. So you basically have the same risks as Bitcoin as just holding spot Bitcoin, except there is a price risk. If you see a big drawdown in price, then you could get liquidated, right? You could get liquidated. So there is a price component to it. But when you compare this to a smaller coin, right? Let's say you're comparing leverage trading versus a smaller coin, like, I don't know, some 200th down the list crypto. I think there's probably a bigger risk of buying the smaller coin at the wrong time because you probably heard about it from someone and they heard about it from someone. And the fact is, if you're seeing it now, and it's 200 down on the list, there's probably a reason you're seeing it. They're probably marketing a lot. It's probably gone up a lot too. So the risk of buying higher is bigger on some smaller coin. It's much easier to panic sell a small coin as well because the fact is you probably will see bigger drawdowns in the price. Like Bitcoin, yeah, it can fall down 10, 20%, but you're probably going to see a meme coin or a small crypto go down 80%, 90% at some point, maybe 60%, right? Even this recent pullback, we've seen cryptos in the top 100 pull back 50%. Nothing is going to come that's better, faster, stronger, better meme than Bitcoin, but a small crypto can easily get pushed out of the way because it doesn't really have a market. It doesn't really have a moat. Coin stops marketing. Okay, that's another big risk for a smaller coin, not for Bitcoin, a Bitcoin long. Coin gets rugged. Definitely a risk with a smaller cryptocurrency. Custody risk is probably, it depends how you hold your smaller meme coin or your smaller coin, but a lot of the time you hold them on centralized exchanges if they're a small coin. And holding too long, I think, is a bigger risk with a smaller coin. Now, what about the rewards? Okay, so again, there's a price component. Right now, Bitcoin's down 15, 20% from the high. So if you do a 4x long, it would have to fall down another 25% from here. So under 50K, it would have to fall down to 46, 47K on Bitcoin. So that's the risk. The return is 4x that of what you would normally get, right? Is that how you say it? So you put in $100 into a Bitcoin long. Let's say Bitcoin does 150% return, right? Well, the return on the 4x would be 4x that. So instead of 150%, you get 6x. That's the same as investing into some some smaller cap meme coin if you get this market return, right? So you lose out on a lot of the major risks if you invest, do some low leverage long, and yet you get the same as if you invested into like some smaller cap meme coin, but again, a lot less risks. The fact is too, there's a lot less work. If you go long on Bitcoin and just hold for a while, and then you buy some spot Bitcoin, and I'm not saying do like leverage with 90% of your portfolio or anything, but let's say you do that with 5% of your portfolio, and then the rest you just buy spot Bitcoin. Okay, you just have to look at one asset. And even then, you don't really have to look at Bitcoin all that much. Bitcoin's going to go up over time. A year to a year and a half from now, we're going to peak out, so maybe you want to take some profits along the way. But compared to some smaller coin, you have to be watching it all the time. You have to be paying attention to it. You have to be worried about this or that. So there's just a lot more risk. So that is one thing that you can do to help during this bull market. Again, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm just saying that is something that I'm doing. I think it can help because, again, it takes away a lot of the major risks and a lot of the time commitment. Of course, you could lose the investment, but I think there's pretty much as big a chance of that happening within smaller cryptocurrencies as well as there is with Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts though, especially if you get the timing right. If you just don't buy too high on a Bitcoin long, like that's what it comes down to. If you buy at the wrong time, you're going to get liquidated. If you buy at the right time, you're going to make a lot of money. Like I bought on these uptrends several times. I went long. Like there's some longs I put in right around here. We had fallen from the peak about 20%. So I was like, okay, I don't think we're going to fall another 20%. It's possible, but I'm going to go low leverage long. And then we had a massive move up. So now I have a bunch of padding. If Bitcoin goes down 30%, 40%, yeah, I'll get wiped out on some of these long positions, but I can always add more. I can always add more to it as well, to the trade, to kind of pad it a little bit more, bring down that liquidation price. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video though. Is this ever something that you do? And let me know if this helped. A realistic price or a realistic expectation of gains during the bull market. I hope this was helpful. Again, it's going to come down to where you think the market's going to go. And I'm not going to sit here saying this is exactly when and where the market's going to come out or come to, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that because honestly, it's going to be dependent on a lot of factors. And I can't do that with other cryptocurrencies too. I could make a Bitcoin price prediction video. Let me know if you want that specifically down below, where I expand a little bit more on my thoughts I gave in this video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. There are links to Margex and to CoinW underneath the video, also to Blowfin as well. All great exchanges if you want to try them out.